Well, I guess it's all part of being a Michigan fan, accepting that our billion-dollar football program has 10-cent stewardship. It's time to be realistic. 3 of the 4 head coaching searches since Lloyd Carr retired at the end of the 2007 season have been a complete disaster. Combine that with the total lack of oversight and accountability, Weiss and now Sherrone more, and the likely outcome is that Michigan will get a significant upgrade at head football coach by default, and not because of the strength of the Michigan brand, not because anyone in the Michigan athletic department knows what they are doing. Clearly, they don't. So who am I? My name is Phil Kain, Wolverine Fan Therapist. I grew up in Michigan. I've been a Michigan football fan for 50 years. Graduated from the University of Michigan. I was a season ticket holder for many years for football and basketball, and I'm a huge fan of Michigan sports. I bleed maize and blue, and I basically watch every Michigan football, basketball, and hockey game. I'm here to try to help Wolverine fans provide a little bit of Wolverine therapy to get through these dark days of Michigan football. And I'd just like to say I think this is the worst thing that I can remember ever happening in Michigan football history. Even more surprising than Michigan's fumbling, bumbling, stumbling coaching search is that people would be so surprised by this fumbling, bumbling coaching search, given the last 20 years of experience. Stumbling and bumbling is the norm for Michigan athletics when it comes to just about everything off the field. The only successful football coaching search in the last 20 years was run by a complete outsider, Jim Hackett, who was serving as interim athletic director. Whenever the university president, or interim president in this case, gets involved, boy, it's time to cringe. This happened this past week. This is almost always a sign of internal trouble and desperation. It's a clear indication that the athletic department has no plan in place to accomplish the task in hand. History shows that this is cause for concern further, as if you'll remember, it was University President Mary Sue Coleman who stepped in and delivered us Rich Rodriguez. The reality is that university presidents are from the world of academia, an incredibly different world from that of big-time college athletics. Rising up the ranks of academia to become a university president does not qualify someone to make huge hiring decisions like leading one of the most valuable and recognizable football brands in the world. Most fans of other teams would think that Michigan could do a lot better than being turned down by Kenny Dillingham. But those fans of other teams are assuming that Michigan's athletic department is well run and led by competent professionals. Well, then there's this week's announcement of a full-scale investigation and the hiring of a law firm to do so. Michigan hired the law firm Jenner & Block. This week, interim president Domenico Grasso promised to leave no stone unturned in its internal inquiry. Look, Jenner & Block is an $800 to $1,000 an hour law firm from Chicago. Jenner & Block, according to National Law Journal's 500 rankings of the firms based on size, Jenner & Block had $682 million of gross revenue, placing it 83rd on the American Lawyers ranking. Anyway, my rough estimate is that Michigan will spend between $750,000 and $1 million for this Jenner & Block investigation. Do you know what would have been a better use of that money would have been? Maybe hiring someone internally to actually monitor the computers and cell phones of the football coaching staff. There's anything more shocking than the fact that Matt Weiss had thousands of pictures of girls on his computer, or that Sherrone Moore was spending several hours a week chasing women. It's the fact that this went undetected for months, or maybe even years. And the only reason that anyone in the athletic department hierarchy actually found out about it was because of outsiders. Again, why is our billion-dollar football brand being protected and safeguarded by nothing? No oversight, no accountability. Millions of fans around the world, millions of dollars spent on Michigan memorabilia. Thousands of people have their livelihoods dependent on this billion-dollar corporation that is Michigan football, and it almost operates with no stewardship, no oversight. Where's the athletic department? Compared to most other iconic football brands, Michigan is just plain terrible at safeguarding its most valuable asset. There's no comparison to Ohio State or Alabama or several others for that matter. Ohio State does an incredible job safeguarding its iconic football brand. Ohio State knows what pays the bills and what fuels all those insane Buckeye fans, and it protects that football brand at all costs. Michigan athletics right now has the number one ranked college hockey team and basically the number one ranked men's basketball team in the country, not because of our athletic department leadership, but in spite of them. Hey, what do I know? I'm just a fan like the rest of you. I look forward to watching Michigan sports. I'm not paid. It's one of my primary hobbies and one of my primary leisure activities. So basketball and hockey are flying high, and we should enjoy every minute of that as fans. Football, meanwhile, staring into the abyss, looking for some leadership. Meanwhile, Ohio State will be competing for another national championship over the next few weeks. Michigan State has significantly upgraded its football coaching staff with Pat Fitzgerald. They just signed Nick Sheridan to be offensive coordinator, former Michigan walk-on quarterback. Penn State hired Matt Campbell. Hey, but on the bright side, as disjointed and bumbling as this coaching search appears from the outside, Michigan football is almost guaranteed to have better coaching for football in 2026. We can now be candid. Sherrone Moore was not a good coach, and he was in way over his head. And you could tell that when you watched the team in 2025. Two of our best games this year were at Nebraska and Central Michigan. Sherrone Moore wasn't even in the stadium for those games. Even if we end up with Biff Poggi, he's way better than what we had this season. And as for assistant coaches, the only one we really want to keep desperately is running backs coach Tony Alford. We're worse at every football coaching position since the 2023 undefeated season, with most of our assistants also now coaching in the NFL. We should be able to attract some improvements at other key offensive coaching positions, and boy, we need desperately to do that before the portal opens up after New Year's Day. So, acceptance is the key to my anxiety, my problems. As Michigan football fans, we have to just accept that we have one of the most valuable athletic brands in all of sports, while at the same time, we have one of the most inept athletic departments in the sports world. We'll see where this goes from here, but pretty much all options are out there, including things could get worse. We could sink down to the levels of 2025 Wisconsin or 2025 Michigan State levels. But I remain hopeful that our enormous brand and our enormous TV audience will help us to avoid complete and total disaster and irrelevance. Well, hey, those are my thoughts. What do you think? I'm interested in hearing. Please like and comment, subscribe to this channel. Please comment in the comment section and let me know what your thoughts are. All right, thanks, and as always, go Blue.